Oh, what's up, party people? It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me at your next event. I like to party with the people. Make your next thing a big one. This week's shows, well, as I'm recording this on Friday, I'll be at the RAB in just about a half hour or so, just a little bit. And I'm excited to be there. The RAB on Friday nights, my usual Friday night gig. It's a full bar, kitchen's open, pool tables, pool tournament on Friday night. Always something good to do while you're waiting to sing on stage. Oh, did I mention that? It's a video dance party karaoke jam. Yeah, you get to sing on stage. I'm just pressing buttons, playing some background music. You're the stars of the show at the RAB in Conway, Arkansas. 8 p.m. until, just about 1 a.m. And we're taking care of each other, making sure that we wear masks on the way in. Pretty much while you're walking around, wear a mask. Okay? And then when you're sitting down having your drinks and having your good food, you can take the mask down. Taking care of each other. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Friday, September 11th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Trump says downplaying coronavirus threat showed calm, strength. President Trump on Thursday pushed back at Washington Post associate editor Bob Woodward's revelation that Trump admitted to downplaying the pandemic threat in February, arguing that Woodward would have come forward with the news sooner if he thought Trump was endangering public safety. Woodward taped Trump in February and March for his forthcoming book, Rage. Trump said in the on-the-record interviews that he knew the coronavirus was, quote, deadly stuff, end quote, but he minimized the threat to prevent panic. Quote, we had to show calm, end quote. Trump said, adding that he displayed, quote, strength as a leader, end quote. The offensive came as Trump faced a backlash with his Democratic rival in the November election, Joe Biden, leading the charge. Quote, he waved a white flag, end quote. Biden said, quote, he walked away. He didn't do a damn thing, end quote. This is according to Politico. Number 2, Western Fire's death toll reaches at least 23. The death toll from West Coast wildfires rose to at least 23 on Thursday as dozens of blazes continued to spread in California, Oregon, and Washington state. The August complex fire burning in Northern California became the largest fire in state history, covering 471,185 acres in the Mendocino National Forest. The fire continues to rage largely uncontained, and the state's third and fourth largest fires are burning too. As of Thursday, the August complex, 37 fires that merged, was 24% contained. California's fires have killed at least 19 people and destroyed 3,900 structures. Oregon is battling its most intense fires on record as well. Authorities told 500,000 people, or 10% of the state population, to evacuate their homes. This is according to USA Today and the San Francisco Chronicle. Number 3, Democrats block Senate Republicans' skinny coronavirus relief bill. Senate Democrats on Thursday blocked the Republicans' skinny coronavirus relief bill, keeping the proposed stimulus package from meeting the 60-vote threshold to overcome a filibuster and advance. The bill's failure made it highly unlikely Congress would approve more aid before the November election. Senate Democrats said the $650 million package wasn't close to being enough. House Democrats originally wanted $3 trillion, but have said that they would accept $2.4 trillion. Republicans said the limited relief targeted the needs most lawmakers agreed about. All present Democrats and Republican Senator Rand Paul, Republican Kentucky, voted no, and the vote fell short, 52-47. Quote, "It's a sort of a dead-end street and very unfortunate," end quote, said Senator Pat Roberts, Republican Kansas. Quote, "But it is what it is," end quote. This is according to the Associated Press and the New York Times. Number 4, judges block Trump order to exclude undocumented immigrants from census. A 3-judge federal court panel on Thursday blocked a memorandum signed by President Trump seeking to exclude undocumented immigrants from the census count for the purpose of reapportioning seats in the House of Representatives. The judges, based in New York, said Trump's order would violate the statute governing congressional apportionment, which says congressional seats must be allotted based on everyone living in the United States. The ruling came hours after another federal judge ordered the Trump administration to hand over documents connected to the government's abrupt decision to end the 2020 census count a month earlier than the Census Bureau previously planned. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 5, deadly protest erupts in Colombia over police killing. Violent demonstrations in Bogota, Colombia, continued into a second day Thursday over a death of a man police officers shocked with a stun gun for more than 2 minutes after they stopped him for allegedly violating coronavirus social distancing rules by drinking publicly after 9 p.m. A video showed the man, Javier Ordonez, pinned down by officers as he said, quote, "Please no more," end quote. At least 9 people have died in the violence sparked by Ordonez's death, and 175 have been injured, the Bogota Health Department said. Protesters have set cars and police stations on fire, releasing frustrations that have built over months of pandemic-related lockdowns. Colombia's conservative president, Ivan Duque Marquez, condemned the killings, but defended security forces as, quote, "heroic," end quote. This is according to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. Number 6, Microsoft. Russian hackers targeting 200 groups involved in election. Hackers from Russia, China, and Iran are trying to influence the 2020 presidential election, Microsoft announced Thursday. Microsoft said it, quote, detected cyber attacks targeting people and organizations, end quote, including, quote, unsuccessful attacks, end quote, on people associated with the campaigns of both President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. Russian hackers reportedly responsible for attacks on the 2016 Democratic presidential campaign have targeted, quote, more than 200 organizations, end quote, including political campaigns and parties, and their tactics have, quote, evolved, end quote. Microsoft also said Chinese hackers have attacked, quote, high-profile individuals associated with the election, end quote. And Iranian hackers have attacked personal accounts of people associated with Trump's campaign. Microsoft said the activity, quote, makes clear that foreign activity groups have stepped up their efforts, end quote, to interfere. This is according to Microsoft and the Washington Post. Number 7, senators reach rare bipartisan agreement on reducing greenhouse gas. Senators on Thursday agreed on a proposal to phase out planet-warming chemicals commonly used in air conditioners and refrigeration. The measure will be offered as an amendment to a bipartisan energy bill. Key Senate Republicans joined Democrats to move the proposal forward in a rare split with the Trump administration's encouraged by both American companies and environmentalists. Quote, this agreement protects both American consumers and American businesses, end quote, said Senator John Barrasso, Republican, Wyoming, Environment and Public Works Committee chair. Quote, we can have clean air without damaging our economy, end quote. It wasn't immediately clear whether the bill would pass with time for President Trump to sign it before Congress adjourns in January. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 8, 884,000 filed new unemployment claims, more than expected. The Labor Department on Thursday reported that 884,000 people filed initial applications for unemployment insurance last week, more than the 850,000 that economists surveyed by Dow Jones had expected. The total was unchanged from the previous week, although without adjusting for seasonal factors, there was an increase of 20,140. The numbers signaled a possible slowdown in improvement in the labor market seen over the summer as many businesses reopen after spring coronavirus lockdowns. The pandemic triggered unprecedented job losses when it hit the U.S. non-farm payrolls declined by 22 million at the start of the crisis, although half of those jobs have been recovered. This is according to CNBC. Number 9, U.S. marks 9/11 anniversary in ceremonies altered by pandemic. Americans are marking the 19th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 terror attacks with gatherings at New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Family members will be on hand, as they have been every year, to honor the nearly 3,000 people who died. But the ceremonies this year will be altered, with fewer people due to precautions to reduce the risk of spreading the coronavirus. Bells will toll in New York City as in previous years, but instead of a rotation of people reading the names of those who died, a recorded list will be broadcast over loudspeakers. There will be no platform at Ground Zero for speeches from dignitaries, but Joe Biden, the Democratic presidential nominee, and Vice President Mike Pence are expected to make appearances. This is according to the New York Times. Number 10, Diana Rigg, the Avengers and Game of Thrones star, dies at 82. Diana Rigg, the actress known for her roles in movies and TV shows like The Avengers, Game of Thrones, and on Her Majesty's Secret Service, has died at 82. Rigg's death was confirmed by her daughter on Thursday, who said she, quote, died peacefully, end quote, at home with her family. Rigg rose to fame after starring as Emma Peel in the classic British series The Avengers, beginning in 1965. Quote, Rigg's character became an icon for the growing feminist movement, end quote, BBC writes. In 1969, she starred in the James Bond film On Her Majesty's Secret Service as, quote, Bond girl, end quote, Tracy DiVenzio. And in the 2010s, she played Olenna Tyrell on Game of Thrones. She also won the Tony for Best Actress in a Play in 1994 for her role in Medea. This is according to BBC News and Variety. That's 10 things you need to know today for Friday, September 11th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Thank you for putting up with me. I appreciate that. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. I got to get ready to go to the RAB tonight, Conway, Arkansas. Come on out and play if you're in the area. Video dance party, karaoke jam, and they also have a pool tournament. And, of course, a full bar and good food. So come on out and play with us. You've been working hard all week. What better way to spend your time than with your friends at the RAB, Conway, Arkansas. Be there. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace.